Thank you, Randy, and my fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. The core statement that I have for you tonight is that club meetings are the core of Toastmasters. They're where we come for a safe, encouraging, structured environment to do the learning that we do, to develop our speaking skills and our leadership potential, and as well to develop our friendships that we foster through a period of years. And with all of these benefits, the club meetings really have to be done well. And I can think of no better model of how important it is to get our roles properly executed than NASCAR. Woo! And as somebody who knows virtually nothing about NASCAR, we're going to launch into this model. Thanks to Wikipedia, however, I know two things about NASCAR. First, pit crews at NASCAR have a target to change all four tires and refill the car of 11.5 seconds. And some of them can do it in 4 seconds. And I mean, look at all these people on this slide. They're like ants all over a spilled ice cream cone out there. And there's still others crawling over the fence here. They have really got to be coordinated. I mean, we have over here, tire carrying guy number 1, and then tire carrying guy number 2, and tire removing and putter oner guy. These are technical terms. Numbers 1 and 2. And then you've got jack guy, and then you've got pneumatic hose handler guy 1 and 2. They're all doing their very specific roles, and they've got to do it like clockwork or like a well-oiled machine. And what if one of those people, just one of them, say tire taker offer and putter oner guy number 1, decided to lollygag and took 15 seconds? Well, that's going to affect the impact of all of the rest of the people there and set them up for a less competitive position or less likely to achieve their goals. So every single one of them really has to be dialed in and work together like gears in a machine. And this doesn't even count, this is just the pit crew. There are also organizational members, the competition director, whatever that is, the team manager, the IT specialist. So there are quite a few people who have to be coordinated there. Now, each one in Toastmasters, a parallel is that all of our roles for a single meeting are necessary to keep it going, keep it running, so that we start on time, maintain momentum, have an enthusiastic involvement by everyone, and conclude on time. Not to mention, provide good quality and opportunities for people to build their skills as well as feedback. Now, I need you all to look me in the eye, because those members who have been in this club for a while know that it's a bit ironic to have me here cadging you and caviling at you to work your timing so that we all fit together like a hand in a glove. Nonetheless, I do aspire to be NASCAR quality, and I will be a world champion. But I also, in my failings, allow you, this is intentional, I'm sure, the opportunity to see the downstream effects on if a speaker takes too long, on the Toastmaster who has the responsibility to ride herd on a lot of the meeting, and other people coming behind, like Table Topics Master, who get squeezed. So I realize all of this true, and all of this is true, and I've just made it my mission to demonstrate it so that all of you can understand it. Let me now, right on the heels of saying that we all have to follow the rules and be within our lanes, ask you, who wants to break the rules with me? Let's do it. Let's do it together. Take your little noisemaker out and join me in doing a poll. In your phone, go to your text. This is called a Poll Everywhere poll, and we're going to see the results of it. I'm asking a question of how many roles do you think there are to be executed in a regular Toastmasters meeting? And I have 5 options up there. Here's how you do this poll. Go to type in a new text, and as the destination, instead of picking a person's name, type in 22333. That's it. And then go into the body of the text that you want to send and send my name, John Lecomte, caps don't matter, JOHNLECOMPTE 509, and hit send. And that'll just register you in this poll. It'll tell you, oh, okay, so you want to take part in John's poll. Next part is easy. Hit A, B, C, or D, according to how many people you think are in a normal, how many roles, not people, need to be filled in a meeting. I just hit a letter that doesn't exist. There we go. And if you want to change your answer, you can just send another text that says undo. Okay, so we're mainly in the 9 to 12 range. And some of you maybe looked at your agenda and said, hey, that seems about right. Well, let me tell you, my friends, that the correct answer is closest to D, 17 to 20. And it varies by club because some roles are not active in every meeting. In our club, believe it or not, there can be 18 that we use. And that was very surprising to me. I'm going to touch on that, but mainly, most of those are described in the handout that I delivered to you. And really do look that over in your spare time. There's some good tips as far as definition of the role and particular duties. Now, we don't see 17 to 20 people running around to manage a meeting because we overlay several duties on a single person. But let's go ahead into it a little bit more. This, my friends, is your meeting. If your meeting is a clock starting at 12 and going around to the right, these are the different segments. We have the opening, we have prepared speeches, then table topics, then an evaluation section, and that includes giving awards, and then the business meeting at the end. So these are the people who preside over each of those segments. The first one sometimes is opened by the sergeant at arms and then handed off to the president. President will hand off to the Toastmaster, who's generally in control of orienting the audience to what's coming up. And then prepared speeches is of course overseen by the Toastmaster, table topics by the topics master, and evaluations by the general evaluator, who then hands it back to the Toastmaster and then to the president for the business meeting. Now you'll see these names recur here. The Toastmaster, of course, is overseeing all of this amount of the meeting, and that person is the #1 ringleader, the director, the host of most of the meeting, the master of ceremonies, the monkey tamer, and #1 cat herder. So Toastmaster is a chief responsibility, but as well the topics master and general evaluator are responsible for managing their segments of the meeting, and it's very important for them to dovetail together to end up at the right place while getting their jobs accomplished. Now on our next slide, these are all of the roles, and there are plenty of them, and they're organized by each segment of the meeting. I'll go into detail of it. You don't need to memorize it, and in this case, there will not be a quiz, but I wanted you to see how many there are really being accomplished. There are a couple in this slide that we don't do, but all of the rest of them get accomplished on a routine basis, every single meeting that we have. And then I broke them up into 3 different categories. The assigned roles, these are the ones that we're very familiar with from our agenda. The Toastmaster, the topics master, speaker, general evaluator, speech evaluator, timer, grammarian, and all counter. Oh, and incidentally, the speaker, I am not counting multiple ones when I'm counting roles. I'm not counting multiple speakers as multiple roles. Speaker is only one of those 17 to 20 roles. Then there are the additional roles. A presenter of invocation is used in some clubs to say a prayer at the beginning of the meeting, and sometimes also the Pledge of Allegiance, one or the other or both. And sometimes they have a role that's similar to our tip master. Just know that if you visit other clubs, they may have an invocation presenter. Joke master we're familiar with. Vote counter is another role. We bundle that together with the sergeant at arms when we're collecting our voting slips or whomever is doing that role. And then, as Christine presented at her workshop, there can be a parliamentarian who is there monitoring and giving guidance for proper procedure, or sometimes just saying, hey, heads up, you're not following proper procedure when things are out of order, or a lot of times during the business meeting in order to properly make a club's decision, taking a vote on a decision, a course forward. Next, this is the one that a lot of people don't think of. These are the club officers, and at different meetings, every one of them will have a role to perform. Of course, the president is there, and the sergeant at arms is making sure that everything is squared away and ready to conduct a proper meeting. The president is the presiding, okay, that goes without saying, is really the core, the stable anchor of the business meeting, very much the same that the Toastmaster is during the meeting. The president is the anchor for the business meeting. And the vice president education is the person who has a bit of a role during the meeting in passing out the preview of the next meeting. However, they're very much the behind the scenes person setting it up for success, rather like the vice president of education, rather like the Toastmaster will do before a meeting, making sure that everyone understands their roles and how the flow will go. So there's a lot of preparatory work that the VPE should be heralded for, even though that person is not really active during the meeting. Every one of these has responsibilities during a meeting, even if they're just giving a report. Not every meeting, but every now and then. And these, I'll show you where to find information about these roles and responsibilities later. So here's the overall picture again, and with this many people being pulled together, let's find out where we can find out some more information. I'm going to switch my screen now to share with you a different screen. Okay. Can somebody tell me, using the audio, oh, this is awkward. There we go. This is, do you see the Toastmasters.org page now? Yes? Okay, thank you. All right. This is where a lot of the documents are available, and you don't even have to log in here. If you go to Toastmasters, you can go to Resources, and then to Resource Library. Wait for the page to load. And then there are these various drop-down menus to help filter what you find. And you can go down in this first one to Club Meeting Roles. You click on that and hit search. And all of the documents that Toastmasters has from your handout are available here. Another thing that's available here is the under here, Club Officer Tools. And if you search in here for Club Leadership, you can find the Club Leadership Handbook. That's where you'll get guidance on all of the roles for club officers. Now, if I change over to West Seattle TM832.org, I can also find the documentation here. If I click under members, then on this page, we're going to find the other documents from your handout. We have an agenda template here, and then here are descriptions of the roles. If you click on one of these, it opens a PDF, and you can right click and then save as, and you can save it locally on your computer. So I wanted to show you those areas where you can find out more information. And now I'm going to just give you one more tip. This is my order of recommendation for roles based on the experience that you gain along the way, all the way from vote counter to joke master, timer, grammarian, all counter, table topics, speaker, speech evaluator, tip master, general evaluator, and Toastmaster. I have one more poll, and since you've already used your texts on your machine, all you have to do this time is enter a letter. What is your next meeting role going to be? Just type in the letter next to what it's going to be and send it. And we get to see the results as they arrive. So we have a table topic speaker, a speaker, speech evaluator, general evaluator, another table topic speaker, another table topic speaker, joke master time. We're getting a good spread. And out of the consciousness of time, I'm going to close that poll, and let's keep moving on and move to the next one. To wrap it up, I want you to understand that every single role is important to fit together. Every person is important. We need to encourage each other and coach each other. Every moment is important, and we build our successes together so that when we come back and deliver a killer speech or kill an interview, then we're not just the person standing at the car, on top of the car, but there's the whole crew here who has helped contribute to making this a group win. And with that, I thank you for your time.